Hello and welcome to Critical Rollback,
where we have 2 toes on both our feet and we're happy to see you.
I'm Jana.
My name is Bal.
And we're here to finally claw our way out of the time paradox.
Get back to the original timeline. This is back to the past. This is back to the future.
Yeah, sort of. So, I know I've explained this every episode, but it's kind of, a thing. This is the last pickup episode we have to record. Episode 8, the one after this, was recorded a month ago. If not more than a month ago.
More than a month ago, yeah. It was recorded in 2021. At some
point.
That.
Yeah, no, okay, 2 months now, because it's January 31st. So, I think episode 8 was recorded sometime in December?
It was recorded while my laptop was in repair and before I got my laptop back, which is when I realized that, nothing is on it, which is why I still have it, because I have it on my original laptop.
Yeah, that in episode 9. So episode 9 was our Christmas special. That was also early December, so 8 might be November.
God. Episode
Jesus
9,
Christ.
I'm excited for you guys to listen to episode 9. Episode 9 is just fully deranged.
Yeah, we don't get any better when you put a third person in here.
Yeah, though I will say that, having watched this episode twice, I didn't hate it as much the second time. I still hated it, but it wasn't as bad.
It's bad, but also, knowing that this is the last time we have to play pickup, we are when the first time we watched this, you are halfway, sort of more than halfway through the Underdark, and this is where it really starts to drag. And this is a bad episode. Don't get us wrong. The second act is just kind of dragging in this arc in general.
There are several episodes which you can skip, or at least you can skip part of them.
You can't even really skip this one.
You can't, but you can skip part of it. There's many parts.
Absolutely, you can fast forward through this so much, but yeah.
This is one of those episodes where, if people drop off trying to watch Critical Role, this is probably one of the episodes where you can, map the most amount of drop-offs.
Yeah, this is one of the episodes that makes it really hard to justify why we love this so much.
Yeah, which is why I have prepared a trivia quiz for every
She's going to challenge me, I'm excited.
Yeah, randomly throughout the episode, when I feel like we need a pick-me-up, I'm going to roll a dice to try to determine which question I'm going to ask you.
I have no idea what she has prepared. I thought we were just going to drop fun facts about something, but no, she wants to challenge me.
My original thought was I was going to drop random scorpion fact, but then I was like, I feel like people don't like scorpions.
Random scorpion fact? My mom has one. Well, it's dead.
She has a scorpion?
It's in a glass dome, but it's an actual dead scorpion in a glass dome that I grew up scared to touch, just the glass above it. But we have one in our living room.
Scorpions are very intimidating.
Hello, dear listener. You're listening to this because I listened back to the podcast while editing, and I realized that in this section, we just kind of take a break to talk about scorpions and centipedes for a really long time. And I was like, I think you need to pay to listen to this, actually. I think this shouldn't be allowed for free. I feel like everyday listener audiences should not have to deal with this. So if you'd like to hear us talk about scorpions and centipedes, you can make the decision yourself to become a patron. And if not, please enjoy this relatively scorpion and centipede-free intro. Thank you, and I'll let you go back to your listening experience now. Bye!
Okay. The worst thing that happened in my class is when we left the window open was maybe a bee would fly inside.
I mean, a bee can kill someone. We need to stop talking about insects.
We were supposed to, no, okay. I live in an area of the world where there is no large fauna or small fauna or anything in the wild that's going to kill me. If I piss off a wild boar, it might try.
A boar might kill you.
Yes, it might try, and I have to climb a tree. Apparently that doesn't even help. But I think boars are more interested in stealing your stuff from you than nude beach, so whatever. Not gonna go there anyhow.
What?
Didn't you, this was like 2 years ago, there was this viral video and picture. No, I think it were two separate things, like, one was a picture of a boar stealing clothes from a man at a nude riverside beach thingy in Berlin. And the other was just a boar swimming to shore at a beach and stealing stuff.
God, no, I've never heard of this.
I'm going to look this up for you after the episode.
After the episode.
By the
way, just to say this, our original, banter was going to be about the campaign guide.
Yeah, fuck that. I have 2 things to say about the campaign guide. Died. Wow, that's thanks, Freud. First of all, Willhand'ildan Trickfoot is the first child to be born divorced from his parents before they ever could. Second of all, you will claw Percy IV from my cold dead hands. He was canon before any of this. Also,
you are never getting Percy IV from me.
Nope. Percy IV and Madeline are alive and well in our hearts.
Yes, I can't remember what the other... Oh, Wolf. Fuck, Wolf is such a shitty name.
Wolf is a shitty name.
I'm already upset about Vexleth, but God, it's
okay,
such a kick in the...
Percival Steen is like a bad that we had feared but thought they were better than.
Yes.
Because isn't it fucking creepy to name your child after your dead twin? Isn't that fucking creepy?
It is. I mean, I'm not going to judge someone who does that in real life, but also I don't think Vex would do it. It just is it's a heavy burden to have on your kid.
Yeah.
And I don't think Vex would be into that.
But isn't Wolf
whatever.
Like the shitty husband that Melanie, also a kid of theirs, allegedly killed? Well,
yeah,
I mean, the ancestors.
It's such a kick. It's a kick right in the vag. It's like I feel like I've been kicked in the crotch. Like, not only did they make Vexleth Dorolo canon, which I already didn't want, they also had the opportunity to still have a Percy Dorolo IV, and they went, no, we're gonna add this dick called Wolf.
Sure. Gwendolyn can stay. Gwendolyn is fine. Not wild about the tiefling child thing, but okay.
Yeah, same. I feel the same way.
What was the other... Yeah, the other girl is Melanie, right?
No. It's Leona.
Right! Leona Melanie. No, Gwendolyn Melanie. God, it was... Leona feels like too modern for a Dorolo child.
Yeah, and also, it doesn't sound quite right, either,
Yeah.
If you're going to do the names that are named after, other... Also, by the way, why is the kid named... Why is the middle name Zara?
Is this a racist micro or macro aggression?
It feels weird, right?
Just also call her Lilith while you're at it.
Yeah, go ahead and feel the speculation there.
This tiefling child is named after the 2 tiefling affairs we both did not have.
Yep. We just wanted to give the tabloids something to talk about.
To be fair, when you're already having a tiefling child, you might just as well go for it.
Sure, I don't like it as much. I feel like it's for the same reason I don't really like Vexleth Dorolo. I think it's just a big burden to just have on a kid.
So creepy. Or just naming your sibling children after a married couple, especially one that ended badly. It was creepy when Harry Potter did it. It's creepy now.
Creepy. It's creepy, I don't like it.
It's also, you choose to give the children the names of these random dead people in your past, but not of your more immediate dead siblings, which I'm not wild about, but I can justify Vesper Elena. Elena Vesper would have been my preferred name, but hey. In that Percy seems to have been uniquely close to Vesper. We'll get to that on the podcast eventually.
It also feels different because I feel like it's further away. It's more in the past,
Yeah, it's not that immediate as Vax, who was there and just died, and
a year before they had the kid, they started having kids.
Less than a year, but yeah.
Yeah, he died while Vex was pregnant, and
yeah.
That's not great. Well, maybe
an hour before, but...
He died around conception.
Like, my headcanon is that Vespa was conceived the evening after, and then there was time dilation in the thingy, in the Chaos Realm thing.
I agree. I think I like that version best because I feel like it's just... It feels like that is a situation where you forget to use magical birth control.
Yes, Vex fucking died a few episodes prior. I don't think a pregnancy would survive that, guys.
Not when it's like that early, you know?
Nope.
I feel like it's just I'm fine with Vesper Elena. I feel like it's a cute name.
I'm not fine with her having white hair for no goddamn reason. Unless there's some deep-seated trauma she went through between birth and now. Because it kind of feels like, this feels speculative, but with the kid names, fan-fiction-y. You kind of have to wonder, okay, is Percy the Fourth and Madeline, are they no longer canon because Laura and Taliesin decided against it, or because the people writing this didn't do the research?
Or because they forgot.
Or because they forgot. Which leads you to the question, does Vespa have white hair because of some trauma, because of some magic, or did people just forget it's not Percy's natural hair color?
It also, is kind of a chicken and the egg thing. Did they commission the art before they came up with the headcanons, or did they come up with the headcanons after commissioning the art?
I mean, I'm pretty sure they commissioned the art specifically for the book, so...
Yeah, but, did they tell her to give her white hair, or was that, a creative choice? I don't know.
Yeah, well, okay, so this has been... By the way, we are big fans of the Pikeland divorce, in a way, but also...
I have weird feelings about it.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be an entire podcast episode to talk about, I don't think this is a bad idea in terms of their characterization and their relationship. I feel like it's a bad idea in terms of post-canon creative control.
It does feel like somebody stared the tidbits, the tiniest bits of Scanlan's character development straight in the eye and was like, nope!
Nah, not gonna do it.
Which is not a fair framing of divorce, especially after 20 years of marriage or something, but nah.
It's just that I feel like if you're going to do something like that, it should be, you should have to confront, you should have to, do a thing about it.
Yeah.
It should be within the canon. You can't, make... the thing is that I'm not opposed to this specifically. I'm more opposed to, the thing that this incites. Which is, what if, next campaign book comes out and they're like, actually, we changed our mind. Vex and Percy got a divorce, too.
Nope.
We wouldn't like that. You would say that's cheap and stupid. And,
I will pick and choose from this campaign guide what I can, but they are still together. And... any campaign guide is superseded by the video of Laura being like, Percy, did you order this dead body?
No, that's canon. That's more canon
than canon.
Campaign
They
guide.
are married at this point in time, and we will hear nothing else about it.
Yeah, and I think the main thing is that I want to say, my point in this is just to say, I feel like I fundamentally can't support this thing when it happens to a ship that I'm not a big a fan of, and... I can't say this is fine when it's something that I agree with, and say that it's not fine when it's, something that I like. I feel like I have to be fundamentally opposed to the sort of creative control post-canon, where somebody can come in a couple of years later and say, actually, I've changed my mind about this, this whole thing is decanonized. I feel like...
I mean, we didn't really have much in terms of canon ending for Scanlan and Pike, just that they got married eventually, so...
Which I also found... to be honest with you, the main reason why I think the divorce is good is because I fundamentally thought that Pike shouldn't get married.
Mm-hmm. Pike shouldn't get married, and she also doesn't seem like the parenting type.
She really doesn't. She seems like the fun-on type.
Yes. Also, oh god, I can't believe... But I have to talk about this. I can't believe first of all, when naming their kid Willhand'ildan, they both must have been drunk or addled or something for the entirety of the decision-making process there.
They were playing a game of checking to see if they would divorce each other yet. Who wants to be the first one to file divorce papers?
You could also
they suggested the name.
Just Vex and Percy getting news of the name, and they're like, okay, I'm going to prepare a room for this child, and we'll see if we can gently pry it away from them.
Yeah, I feel like Willhand'ildan has to be, not 100% a Persalia kid, but, not a Persalia kid.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
he's just,
but-
I like this house. Nobody argues in this house.
And be that as it may, the goddamn fucking petty energy behind naming their daughter Juniper.
Juniper. Somehow Juniper is worse, I think.
Yes,
Like,
Scanlan, what is your mother's name?
Like, if Willhand'ildan is, like, the divorced chicken, like, of being like, I'm gonna suggest this name, and you're gonna see if you're, like, I'm gonna look you in the eyes, and see, like, if you're gonna leave me first. But I feel like Juniper was the start, you know? Juniper was the first, like, gun on the table, like,
Juniper
this is not working.
Pike pettily reliving that moment she never got to have any input on because of out-of-game reasons, and just, And you know, what makes this better/worse is that it is...
Hey, Scanlan, can you do a parody song of No Children called Two Children?
Yes, like 20 children. And best part, the best worst part about this is that it is completely and entirely in the realm of possibility and probability that Scanlan has previously used sad stories about his dead mother to get laid, and it is thus somewhat likely that he has more than one daughter named Juniper out in the world.
Yeah, just like my one distant family relative who named both of his daughters for different marriages the same thing.
Yep. But
exactly like that. There are many, there's gnomes or half gnomes running around. Just call Juniper.
So many Junipers. Okay, I think we've trashed this enough.
Yeah, we've trodden this path.
If you like anything in this campaign guide, more power to you. The art looks amazing. Much respect to the people who worked on it. It's like, we just have a very twisted sense of humor about these things.
Okay.
And have had 5 years to work our own canon about this, so this is just...
This is what we do instead of making another bonus episode about this.
Yeah, just put
Shall
a 30
we go into a
minute...
very belated warnings and content warnings and spoiler warnings?
Better now than never, right?
Hello, lovely listeners. I'm here to deliver some wonderful spoiler warnings and some delicious content warnings, starting with the latter. Our content warnings for this episode include scat, how lovely, cannibalism, or at least just the threat of eating other sentient beings, even if they are of a different species, yelling, just a lot of yelling. Ryan is here, and he is in the yelling place, and we don't like it. There's also some talk of body horror. The usual Scanlan being creep, specifically to Kima. We do talk a little bit about torture. I see Jana here has added desecration of corpses. That is a joke from later in the episode. And there is talk and discussion of suicide, though it is thankfully very brief. I'm also here to say that Orion Akaba is going to be present for about 20 more episodes. As for the spoiler warnings, I think we discuss a little bit of Campaign 2, canon ships, but I think that's all of it. I apologize if I forgot anything. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of this here episode. Bye!
Game Tidbits.
Yes, Travis is not there.
Travis is gone.
He will not be seen for a few episodes from now on. Ashley is wearing a bow tie.
She is. It's very cute. She's a very handsome woman.
It is. Yes, she is. They are...
Have I ever told you? Oh, sorry.
No, go on.
The most, like, affirming, like, gender and sexuality-wise I've ever felt is when I went to a thrift shop once and I was buying suit jackets
Uh-huh.
at a thrift store. And my mom was like, "Oh, you look so handsome." And I was like, "Oh, thanks." And then a full stranger, walked by me, pointed at me, nodded, and kept walking.
Nice.
Yeah, and I still have that suit jacket.
As you should. The suit jacket has been approved by a stranger, you have to keep it for life.
Yep.
So would you wear a suit at a wedding?
I might, I don't know. I feel like I look better in a suit than a dress. So they're giving away bath bombs in this episode.
Yes, they have they're collaborating with like the nail wraps thingy, and they give away bath bombs, and the one who wins the bath bombs is Danny Carr.
It's Danny fucking Carr, guys.
Mm-hmm. Also known as the lore
Danny.
keeper, who really should have a small staff working for her at this point.
Yeah. She works for the company now. I don't know how this happened.
You too can maybe at some point work for the people you like. Like, I've joked before with people about how for some people this is a podcast, for others this is the longest spontaneous application for a writing job that has ever been.
This podcast?
Which we're not serious about, but kind of.
We're kind of serious about, like, if...
The joke works better in German.
Yeah, I feel like we'd be fired if we started writing for Vox Machina pretty quickly, because we'd not budge on a lot
You
of
named
stuff.
those children? Not in my reality.
Not in my reality.
So maybe not. Also, just for the people who get anything out of the German language. No, I've forgotten how the joke goes. God damn it.
No!
Für die einen ist es ein Podcast, für die anderen die wahrscheinlich längste Initiativbewerbung der Welt. Thank you.
Ooh, wasn't that sexy?
Was it?
Very deeply.
Oh, God. I had people have been... The Legend of Vox Machina is out, by the way. We did a whole thing about it. I've had people, we are all busy fangirling about the foreign language dubs, and the German dub is good. It's serviceable. But every time you mention a German dub, somebody's like, "Oh, can you make them say these Keyleth things?" No?
You understand that this is a language that people talk, right?
There's a language that people speak in, and they do not sound like Caleb.
It's not like they dubbed in Klingon.
They might.
They might, but it's like, it's not a fictional language that just fictional kids. It's a thing. Many countries speak this language.
People in 3 countries speak this language, and some scattered enclaves of former colonialized places and very uncomfortable places of South America.
Yes. Very uncomfortable places. You motherfucker.
What?
No, it just really got me.
You know how the German-speaking people got there, and I think that's
I
uncomfortable.
know.
No offense
And
to if you're a German speaker living in South America. I'm sure there's also people there who aren't there because their ancestors were Nazis.
I mean, we joke about this all the time in my family because half my family is Peruvian. And we joke all the time that the Nazis stole our idea. Because my mom's side of the family, who is Turkish Greek Jewish, moved in the early 1900s.
Mm-hmm.
To escape other anti-Semitism, I'm sure. So it's just God damn it, you stole our idea.
I have been informed that that it's a very common thing in Brazil for someone who has blonde or red hair to just be called alemão, as in the German, because it's usually what they are.
Oh no. Oh no.
Insert the TikTok music bit.
Yeah.
Ah.
So this episode came out in April 23rd, 2015.
Yes! And they also were for the first time selling shirts, a whole 100 of them that were sold out before they finished the announcement.
By the way, these shirts were hand-packed by the cats.
Yeah! They had barely set up the website.
They just had these. They just bought these shirts and packed them into boxes and sent them themselves.
Yep. So if you are one of the proud owners of these early shirts, the cast has actually touched them.
I mean, I'm sure the cast has they've touched a lot of shirts in the Vox Machina era, but yes.
And rubbed their noses against much wood.
God, that was before.
With a little distance to the entire thing, Vox Machina is just a fucking weird concept.
Such a weird concept.
You just put people in there and ask them about their creative choices.
Yeah, we're gonna have a retrospective Vox Machina, but that's gonna be years from now.
Yeah.
Vox Machina, a retrospective. Anyway, where are we at?
What was that?
What?
And no, there were many lovely moments on Vox Machina, but especially for Campaign 2, it's
what is this?
Maybe we shouldn't offer people an avenue for their ship wars.
Yeah, maybe this is bad, actually. Maybe we shouldn't be giving people, maybe we shouldn't, be giving harassers, a primetime slot.
Huh. Yeah, okay, anyways. Not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the last Time Paradox pickup episode, which is also the worst. But so much better when you know there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm still wondering, I don't want to start doing the trivia before we start the actual episode.
Wait for the mood to drop, okay? Or
yes.
The human feces to drop. Whatever comes first.
So where are we at?
We are, in the Underdark. We have finally found Kima. It's just that we are now in the middle of the dungeons and fortress that she was kept in and need to get the hell out of here.
Yes.
Kima would like her stuff
as soon
back.
As you find her, you... Huh?
Yeah?
Yes, Kima would like her stuff back.
And everyone would like Kima to act more like a torture victim.
Which, I don't know how she could act more like a torture victim. She's clearly not quite,
She is kind of ready to do some violence back, and seems like a perfectly valid reaction to me. But we've been over this in the last episode.
There's some descriptions of this episode, just her hands shaking. And it's okay, Kim's not doing great.
The king literally tries to trigger her, okay? Yeah. Oh! Kima wants her stuff back. They are stuck in a fortress.
Yes, they are.
Yes.
And that's where we start the episode.
Yep, with an immediate...
We're only 44 minutes in.
With an immediate and very apparent tone shift in how people talk to Kima.
Oh yeah, it's just it's like the writing staff got changed.
Kind of. In reality, it's just people them having a week off and being oh, maybe antagonizing our mission isn't the best call here. So you can see Vex, for example, to just being not nicer to Kima immediately. Marisha isn't though. Oh, Marisha is very spicy.
Isn't, but she's not. I will say, for Marisha's sake, Keyleth is not actively antagonistic in this episode.
Keyleth isn't.
She's not nice.
Keyleth is also for the most part of this episode. Keyleth is a cat.
That's true. That helps. She can't be outwardly antagonistic as a cat.
Marisha, on the other hand,
I also think that it's harder to explain to people. I think that I don't want to justify Vex's kind of treatment of Keyleth because I feel like this is a flaw for Vex that's very important to me. It's she's a flawed person. She's very impatient with Keyleth. And I don't think that's fair of her. But I think it's easier to understand that, Keyleth is also not always 100% this naive, perfect person.
Yeah, in this entire Underdark arc, Keyleth is very much... she is having a panic attack consecutively the entire time.
And it's completely understandable that she's not being 100% nice all the time. But, she is very impatient with Kima.
Very impatient with Kima. She's going to turn this into a very big thing later on.
So just
reasons that make sense to Keyleth, but are never going to make sense to us, the audience, or Vex, the character. So when Vex, the character, gets very impatient with her about things later on, that kind of explains it more. Also,
there's more context to it. It doesn't feel quite like a victim and sacrifice thing. The victim and sacrifice. It's execution or an execution-y. It's more sometimes you are impatient to people, and people are impatient towards you back, and other people notice that, and it's more dynamic. It's more dynamic than it would be implied by just looking at Vex and Keyleth's interactions out of context, which a lot of people like to do.
Yeah, also, if you see Vex being a little mean to Keyleth and are like, oh, that's hot, that's sexual tension right there, I am judging you.
Me too.
I mean, chances are I see these takes because I followed you for your excellent Bo Jester and also Imogen and Laudna stuff.
Mm-hmm, which are excellent.
Absolutely. Very into that. Though every time I see somebody ship all three of these things, I'm like, you're just shipping the actresses, aren't you?
That is a cute story and not incorrect.
And like, again, glad to have you in the trenches with me about the Bo Jester stuff. I like Bo Jester for very different reasons than you, apparently. We'll get into this at some point, how much Bo Jester... I like Bo Jester because it reminded me of Bersalia, okay?
Okay, we need to move forward. I've already rolled the dice in case the mood has gone down enough that we need to do a trivia question.
You want to punish me? Punish me.
Okay, I'm punishing you with a trivia question. I'm worried that I'm going to run out of these. What is the name of Grog's cousin?
Shit. Shit, I like this character.
These are tough questions, I know.
The uncle is called Carrick and the girlfriend is pregnant. Ugh.
Mm-hmm, she is pregnant.
From another tribe of Goliaths.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
You've got this.
Oh, actually, I think the uncle is Kefdek, not Carrick. Carrick is the other dude.
Kefdek.
Shit, why do I know this? Cousin. No, it's not Curran the Hammer.
Go into your mind, fellas. You can do this.
Does the name start with like a Z?
It does.
Oh god!
You're getting there.
Z. Why do I remember the Z but nothing else?
Do you want to keep talking and see if it comes to you later?
Give me the second letter.
It's an A.
It's not Xandor, is it?
It's very close. It's so close.
No, I think I just full on don't know this name.
You basically know it. It's not Xandor, it's Xanror.
Oh! Huh. Yeah,
I'm gonna give you half a point for that one.
I know his entire family history, but I forgot the name. Oh, Xanror.
Yes.
Xanror is a stupid name, but it's not Stonejaw Strongjaw.
It's not. So the outside of the torture chamber is very quiet.
Yeah.
Kima vaguely remembers, being taken and having her weapons taken to the vault, which is on the second floor. So she definitely wants to go get there, and also it's starting to be a little weird how quiet this armory is. Oh, sorry, this torture chamber.
But it is going to take a very long time for the pin to drop for everyone.
Yes.
They're just full on confused. Why is it so quiet? Up until somebody actively tells them, yeah, because people have set up traps and are waiting for you upstairs, sweethearts. Congratulations.
Sweet summer child.
Yeah. So
Kima wants to bash.
Everyone else wants to do a stealth mission, and stealth missions mean that Vex goes on a field trip, and sometimes people are allowed to join him.
Yeah, which is literally what they say in this one. Just Vex says, I've been invited on a field trip.
And then she immediately is like, oh, but maybe I shouldn't go because my stealth is bad right now.
Which isn't how dice works, but okay.
Yeah, whatever. Then Scanlan gets invited because he can go invisible again.
This, I'm sure, will lead to no shenanigans whatsoever.
Clarota could also go invisible and joins him. Vex does a really, really cool thing, though. Like the smithy kill, when he comes upon...
I love the smithy kill.
Someone working in a smithy, and Matt is like, and he goes, tink, tink, tink. Then Vex does an assassination thing, natural 20 and everything. And then I pick up the hammer and go, tink, tink, tink. That's just fucking smooth.
Oh yeah. I learned apparently that have you ever seen a blacksmith work on an anvil?
Not live, no.
I've seen it a couple times, and they do this thing where, like, they stop, they, like, do a couple hits on, like, the sword or whatever they're working on, and then they hit the anvil a couple of times. And I've learned that is apparently a method to keep their rhythm. So while they're like, examining the sword, they don't want to lose their knocking rhythm. So they'll knock on the anvil and then keep going.
Huh.
So that's a rhythmic. Good job, Matthew.
Fascinating. Which, like, I don't say ironically most of the time. I want people to know that.
Good job, Matthew?
No. I am afraid that when I say stuff like fascinating, just commenting something you say or anybody else for that matter, it comes off as sarcastic.
I didn't take it as sarcastic. It's okay.
Very well might be sometimes, but in some contexts, but I never really mean it sarcastically. It's just like, I genuinely appreciate somebody telling me this piece of trivia. I just have nothing to contribute instead of, besides telling you that this is legitimately fascinating.
Yes, and you wouldn't say it like that. You would say it like fascinating.
Fascinating. I have voices.
You do.
No, I'm constantly insecure about this because I don't want them to be dismissive.
You're not. He does the stealth kill. Then he actually does a stealth kill before he gets Scanlan and Carrera.
Yeah, they just come in there and are like, oh, what are we supposed to do? And,
I also kind of want to know why this Smith guy is there, since everybody else is gone, but whatever.
He provides some background noise to make it appear normal.
Oh.
He's also people probably just didn't like him and just left him behind for dead.
Nobody told him! Oh, I feel so bad.
Oh. Justice for the poor abandoned smithy guy. He did nothing wrong but make weapons for the wrong people.
Yep.
Yeah. I will also say that, like, the way that Scanlan just burns his invisibility spell slots for stuff like this when he really didn't need to and he shouldn't be the one stealthing. It makes me anxious, especially when we're in full dungeon crawl mode, which you can tell, by the way, because Matthew Mercer stood up.
Oh yeah. When he stood up, that's the dungeon time.
Yeah, Vex keeps rolling 20s. Now that was just his first 20, but he keeps doing that. Kima has no patience for their stealth stuff, so Marisha goes like, that's why you don't add AI to the party.
Which I think is kind of telling. Like, we've talked about this before, about Kima being like their first kind of like NPC who's not for them.
Yeah, just the first NPC who has her own mind. And like Matt cuts in here and says you're telling a very angry woman to be patient.
Yes.
And also, this is hilarious to me, knowing what we know about how Matt kind of modeled Kima and Allura after Marisha and himself.
Oh no,
and
that
so,
makes so much sense.
Of course, my not yet wife, a character I modeled after her, and she fucking hates her.
It's the most Marisha thing, is meeting yourself and not liking it very much.
Oh,
like, this stubborn bitch.
Oh, there's a Tegan and Sarah song about that. Marisha is just full on the dog staring at the mirror like, who are you? What do you want from me? What did this asshole get here?
Where does the dog come from?
Poor Matthew. Ah, well.
At this point, the episode briefly turns into like a full on, like, what is it? Like It's kind of like a survival horror for a bit. Like, there's just creeping...
It's like some people play Skyrim.
People play Skyrim like this? Weird.
Do you mean the stealthing?
No, I mean, like, stealthing through this place, being very quiet and stealthy, and there's just nobody here. And, like, they find traces of people being here. They go to, like, a latrine.
I mean, some people are there.
Some people are there, but, like, it's very scarce. It's like, it's very empty and dark.
It's like a horror game, but just that the jump scares aren't really happening.
Yeah, exactly. It's more like a is it Dead Space? It feels like a Dead Space.
There are no ominous messages on the wall from people who died here, but, I mean, you can, if you pay attention to this, you can kind of tell that they are walking into 20 different traps right now.
Oh, yeah.
But there's also, just to make it not appear so obvious, there's just brief combat encounters interspersed here. Like, one of them is kind of funny, because things get so dire that Percy hits someone with his gun.
Jeez, he's usually worse at.
Yeah, no, he's just not very good at hitting people.
No, there's a couple funny moments where he tries to hit someone with like a blunt object, and it's just, that didn't work.
Yeah, here it works. He rolls a 20, he takes the guy out, and he makes a fun squealy noise when doing it.
He has a fun time. And then Pike
Mm-hmm.
goes full serial killer.
Gotta make sure the person unconscious on the ground is dead.
She cuts his throat with a mace.
With a serrated mace, yes. And everyone is kind of concerned. And like...
Including Saren Ray.
And she starts justifying this, but they're bad guys. He's so bad, this is so bad. And, like, the way this has been set up is she's not wrong, but it's also just kind of putting the whole always evil racist thing.
It also puts into harsh perspective how, like, Pike is usually characterized by people who are not Ashley Johnson.
Oh,
I said Ashley Birch. Ashley Johnson. It's like, you remember that time where she cut someone's throat with a serrated mace? And, like, I'm not saying that Pike is, like a serial killer legitimately. It's just that Pike is,
Pike is more of a
blunt.
bash bro and also a troll.
She's a troll, she's a brash bro, she's kind of a blunt weapon sometimes.
She is not this party's moral compass.
No, she's a war cleric.
The moral compass of this party oscillates between Keyleth and Vex. Pike is just here to have a good time.
And Vex sometimes pretends to be the moral compass, but don't believe him.
Don't believe him. He's very sanctimonious about it.
Yes.
Yes.
Oddly enough, sometimes Grog is the moral compass, and that's when you know you fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, when Grog has to be the moral compass, dire shit has happened.
Mm-hmm. Percy never makes the assumption that he is the moral compass. He actually knows he's not. Which in turn kind of makes him one of the more moral characters later on, but we'll get there when we get
really
there.
Funny.
Everybody take a sip!
When we get there. Everyone take a sip.
Stay hydrated.
I did actually take a sip right there.
Me too. This is like, I said this to Lulafia recently when she was like, well, people will call anything a parasocial relationship, and I was like, the only parasocial relationship I have is with Tara Mooney, because when she tells me to clap for one of her subscribers' pets, I will do that.
You have to clap.
You have to clap. And if you, dear listener, want to engage in a parasocial relationship with us, the tiniest bit.
Nice transition.
Yes. Actually,
no,
just
kind of like...
do take a sip when we take a sip. It's important to stay hydrated.
It's important to stay hydrated.
And we do not drink alcohol during this, even when we sometimes might want to.
Yeah, at the end of recording sessions, I always have a moment of like, it's been 3 hours. I haven't gone to the bathroom once. That's probably not good.
Couldn't happen to me. I run to the bathroom during breaks all the time.
A paragon of hydration.
More like a bladder who starts working overtime once I get nervous. It's a problem during exams.
Anyway, here comes another thing that's problematic.
Whoa! Oh, 2 of them. I added more to the notes here. Because, nobody else comments on this except for Matt saying, Grog looks concerned, and then, of all people...
Oh, question 8. Let's see what question 8 is.
Let me finish the thought. It just... Tiberius says, Puppet Pike, that was rough, and it's like... You just shut all the way up. All the way over to your Granny Slasher corner that you're not in yet, but will be in just all the way. Question, please.
This one you can answer quickly, by the way. Also, the other problematic thing is that Scan tries to take a peek at Kima's bosoms, her cleavage, and
in leather armor. Sure.
Yeah, for Matt's sake, Matt shuts him down really quick. I'm just like, you're not seeing anything. And
also, Kima has been naked and tied to a torture rack 5 minutes ago. You know what her boobs look like.
The truth is that her boobs do not look great right now, my guy. Also, I bet you could answer this question really quickly.
Uh-huh.
Describe a card Vex received from the soothsayer in response to the question, have I made the right choice?
Clasping hands, mountains, and a sunrise and a new dawn.
Yeah, you got it.
You can't ask me shippy questions, I will get those correctly.
That's like the only shippy question. It's just I wanted to have like an easy one that's like, you can answer this in 5 seconds, and you can.
The card is Whitestone coded. We wrote metas about this, okay?
We did.
This is something I genuinely enjoy about the animated series, is how we're just going to be like, they looked at each other, we have a Prasadia moment.
Oh,
and everyone is like, yay!
I've already seen metas about the fact that they're both sitting together and they have star necklaces.
Yes! They are also dressed complementarily, way more than the others are, and it's we don't even need to be doing this. We don't need to convince anybody that these two are meant to be together, because they are very much still married 30 years later with 5 children, but it is making me nostalgic for my Sasusaku trench days. So nostalgic. Somebody give me some pieces of furniture to ship. Shout out to the 5 people out there who might know what I'm talking about.
Vax was another natural 20, at which point Versha's like, knock on wood.
Yes.
I love this. This is one of my OCD things. And Taliesin knocks against his own head. He's hilarious.
He is just hilarious, yes.
I feel like you can kind of tell at times in this episode where he's a little out. He's a little out for lunch.
Yeah, he's not very present here.
No. There's a part where he tries to like, talk to Vax, and he, like, forgets Vax's name completely. He's like, I wanted to talk to Liam. I mean...
Well, new medication will fuck you up sometimes.
Yeah, it will fuck you. It fucked me right up when I started. Medication's rough.
Yeah, then they come to a running bit for this episode, in which they encounter a communal toilet, which Matt calls a commode.
Is that notable for any reason? Does a commode mean something?
It might mean what Matt says it means, but also the German word commode is more like a drawer chest or something. Like, I have one of those in my bedroom with my underwear and socks and pajamas are in it.
Oh, I don't think you normally poop in those.
No, I try to avoid that, actually.
Yes, though we do get and also the running joke of pooping on furniture.
Yes, in bedrooms even. Amazing.
Foreshadowing, I guess.
I guess. And another bit of foreshadowing is how they decide, we just stuff all the corpses into this toilet, because that's the most inconspicuous place for them to be, which is a throw forward to the time they stuff Willhand'ildan's corpse into a porta potty.
Oh, they did! Oh, poor Willhand'ildan.
He was dead for that part, it's fine.
It's fine. Yes, I guess we have to tag desecration of a corpse.
Yes, and yes, it's Willhand'ildan the person, not Kishar the character. If you know, you know. If you don't, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, where were we? I've lost the note. Cleavage.
I'm trying to move fast quickly because I do have like an hour or so.
Oh God. Okay, yeah. Chop. We have
like 45 minutes. Let's go.
We're timed. Okay. That's gonna be a short episode. We're timed. Okay. Vex negotiates about his plus stealth cloak for the first time. There are, for some reason, even more toilets in these barracks, which means that Durgar have insane sanitation codes.
Yeah, I guess maybe Durgar are just like... I mean, I guess it wouldn't be that hard to have a great sanitation code when, like, you have a literal lava flow next to you.
Right! That's what we talked about last time.
We did. Like, you could just put it all in the lava.
Yes, because I thought about, but where would these toilets even empty out into? Do they have a river here? They do, a river of lava, which is probably very efficient at getting rid of your feces, yes. So the entire fortress doesn't have cholera anytime soon.
Yeah. Now that smell can't be great. We have the first invisible bed shitting. Hooray!
Yep, that sure happens. Scallon sure goes off to do that, and it's
yeah, there is a thing that I like later on where Pike is, like, also entering a bedroom. She's like, how funny would it be if I just shit on the bed? And Matt is like, you might think that's funny, but Serenade wouldn't agree with you. Your actions do have consequences. But only yours. Only for you does this alignment stuff matter. I mean, I don't really see why we're gonna alignment up from shitting on a bed. But hey. Yeah, I mean, like, I also think that, like, he's trying to get her to focus on, like, hey, remember that we're not just here for shits and giggles, you have to actually roleplay.
Play a cleric the way you're supposed to play a cleric.
Which I wish he would do for Scanlan more.
I was about to say, he should do that for Scanlan more often. Like, the one time he does it, it's like God is trying to shame him into being a proper bard, and it fell very flat.
So flat.
So flat. The flattest.
So flat.
Anyways. Oh yeah, you'll notice that this is the first time that Orion starts fudging with his dice rolls.
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. You want to ask me a question instead?
Yeah, okay.
Should I ask you a question now? Because technically your mood is dropping.
Ooh, I love this question.
Okay.
What color is Talison's hair during episode 69? This one's tough, because he's not on screen most of the episode.
Purple.
Oh, nice one. It's dark purple. Bonus question. What haircut is it?
Mohawk.
Yeah, nice. Does this feel better?
Honestly, I think that I mean, I know why I know that, but it might sound freaky to people.
Do you want to talk about why you know that?
I mean, I've watched the episodes a lot, and also I've have a bit of a skill in identifying a campaign 1 episode just based on Talison's and Laura's haircuts.
Oh yeah, but like I thought this one would especially be kind of fun because like Taliesin doesn't show up until like halfway through the episode.
Ask me about Matt's haircut because I thought it's short.
I think it is short actually.
It is. He got a haircut the episode before then, and that's what we joke every time Matt gets his haircut, somebody dies. That's
true. Oh, that was also the period where he had a chipped tooth. I remember thinking the chipped tooth is so cute. He got a chipped tooth in the desert.
And you got work. Move on.
Oh, shit.
Okay. It's just
Marisha's
another random fight scene.
Kima.
Oh yeah, no, Kima stumbles and like somebody pushes her something and Marisha just goes ha in a way that just gave me flashbacks to being bullied in school.
Yeah, that's very middle schoolish.
Just wow, Marisha, wow. You're just okay. Random fight scene ensues. Vex isn't the sharpshooter, which weird. Madame Marisha argue about combat technicalities, in which we keep saying this, that usually Marisha is right in the situations, but in this time she isn't. Matt is correct in that the entire fastball special negotiation with Grog wouldn't have worked when she was in Kitty form the entire time.
Yeah, like maybe it'll work with somebody else, but not Grog. I don't think Grog is paying much
they
attention.
Maybe they have done this before and worked it out beforehand, and that on something, but that like the same way the twins say, "Oh, we've done this maneuver before, back to back, whatever." But like, nah.
I often think about this in terms of like, would you allow this if this was the enemy doing it? Like, if the enemy was doing this, would you be okay with this? And I think it's one of those cases where like, no, you wouldn't be. Like, if the enemies did this, you wouldn't be okay with it.
I don't know about that. I feel like
we'll talk about it some other time.
Yeah. Okay. On a time crunch, chop, which makes this episode so much more bearable. Seriously, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Now Pike wants to shit on a bed, and Matt has to remind her that this would not be very chaotic. Good of her. Chaotic, but maybe not good.
This is when the coin drops for them. That oh no, this might be a trap.
Not
actually,
quite yet. They walk into more traps after this. But yes, everyone except Tiberius, Glock, and Keyleth walk into a room. The room goes dark. In the darkness, Vex says, "Fuck, they're in a trap." There's some, random illicit starts making out with Vex, but it doesn't end well for him, like it does for most people.
He makes out with his tentacles.
And we haven't even reached the calamari. No, this is the calamari, dude. Okay, it's just that things happen between that.
Yes, this is where they calamari this guy.
Yeah, this is where Vex goes, I want to grab him by the calamari and stab him in the eye, and because we have a brand at this point, this led me to pose the question. First of all, are illicit tentacles edible like calamari? And if they are, is that cannibalism?
I remember when we had this conversation, I ate I specifically ordered calamari afterwards because I was craving it.
Right.
I think it is cannibalism.
It should be, right?
I think so. I feel like if it's from a sapient being,
Yeah.
it's cannibalism.
Mm-hmm.
Question is though, is there a humane way to do it?
No, I don't think so.
This is like the foie gras of the D&D world. It's
What?
like that one. It's like it's the food that's like super problematic to eat, and like fancy restaurants serve it, like what is it? Slow bro tails.
Anyways, we are on a timer. No, I don't think you can harvest tentacles of an illithid humanely at all. This does the actual appendages that do need those to eat people. Which I mean, Moving on. We're at a time crunch.
Yes, they get attacked.
Scanlan and Pike have the same initiative and are cute about it. Gnomesies. There's some earring drama because Scanlan doesn't have one anymore because somebody took it from him when Sam wasn't at the table.
Ahem.
Kima does some cool paladin shit by just smiting a dude.
Yes.
And just like that, this completely irrelevant fight is over. Moving on.
Illithid does a bamf. He does his
Right.
once a day vanishing thing. So they don't actually kill the Illithid. He just vanishes.
Huh. Right. Okay. Is this really this one? I mean, one does. It might be. It's fine.
Yeah, they find a temple after
They find a temple.
Yes.
Which is significant for two reasons. One of them is the less fun one, is that they find out about the god of these Durgar. Duga or something. I tried to look this dude up because I was, and we're going to get into this later, because I was confused about the specifics of gods, but he's not in a campaign guide. Matt has never elaborated upon this dude, so okay, sure, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know this man.
Yeah, it is so very telling that Orion here already takes the time to study this dude intently, which, okay.
Yeah.
Fine. You just have a random interest in religion here. Fine. The fun bit about this.
The fun bit?
The fun bit is that they find like a rotting heart here, and Keyleth picks it up and gives it and brings it to Vex.
Yeah, he just kind of kicks it away.
But he does scritch your ears for it, so it's kind of cute.
It is cute. It is objectively a cute Vexleth scene. I'm actually very fond of this one.
Yes.
She gives him a heart.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we find out here that apparently the canon lore for this god is that he freed the Durgar from illicit slavery. Which, like...
Oopsie-daisy.
Oh, boy. We could steelman it and say that this is when Tiberius decided to check this out closer because you can use it against them.
But...
let's just go with that.
Yeah.
You don't have to be overly negative the entire time. Vex walks straight into the next...
I was wondering if I should call out of work, but no.
Vex walks straight into the next trap, accompanied by the amazing words, "I should have been so smart, but I wasn't." What she was doing was not committing a war crime and trying to talk to the person who wanted to talk, or pretended to want to talk. It was a trap. Too bad.
Yes.
Trinket gets poisoned and unpoisoned, and I think this is the time when Scanlan for the first time uses Vicious Mockery.
He does! Causes, like, I think maybe 7 points of damage to this person. And bonus damage to his mother.
Wherever she might be.
Mm-hmm.
Because Taliesin sometimes has fun quips this episode, even though he's not quite there.
Yes, he is still very funny. He's just not very present.
Mm-hmm.
Percy tries to loot. This does not work.
Triggers a trap.
He doesn't learn.
We don't learn from this.
No, this will never come up again ever again. It's never was a tip about.
Especially not in episode 9. Episode 9 is totally not going to refer to these events.
Oopsie, it's not gonna, just don't think about it too hard.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Anyways, Kima now gets to, they fight the dude to lure them into a trap, and Kima now gets to torture and violently kill someone because Bahamut is just cool like that.
Yeah, why is, apparently Saren Ray and Bahamut have different standards.
Which very possible, but also Pike maybe consider a change in deity here. Bahamut would let you would let you cut throats with maces.
He would. I mean, I have problems with Bahamut. Daddy Dragon would... No, actually, I realize I don't have problems with Bahamut. I have a problem with a different daddy. But Daddy Dragon will let you
You have problems with Tree Dad,
yes,
not with Dragon Dad.
Dragon Dad.
Dragon Daddy seems to be a cool dude with very boring followers besides Kima.
Deeply boring set of followers. But otherwise, a pretty cool dude. Sorry. So this is pretty much where Laura invokes a bathroom break. Again,
it's her superpower.
It is. We can see a bit of the art for Pike unblurred, but I forgot. The thing that made me laugh was vaccinate your kids.
Yeah, they come back from the break, give Danica her bath bomb and sell out the shirts. And then Vax stabs people, and then it turns into a vaccinate your kids joke, which has never been more timely.
Yeah.
Vaccinate your kids, vaccinate your wife, get your vaccines, all of them.
Vaccinate your kids, just don't vaccinate your kids or you'll be vaccinated.
This would actually be a very lovely, what do you think Vax does when anti-vaxxers die and have to face him?
He vaccinates them?
Something like that. Anyways, they have figured out at this point, because Kima tortured it out of somebody, when it was already kind of apparent that there's a big welcoming committee waiting for them upstairs, and it's just all traps from here on out. So now they plan for what to do about this.
We get
they drink a little bit. Vax tries to have one of his many we're all gonna die now speeches, which he just does constantly.
Yes, he does this every time. What was I going to say? Oh, we get a token Vox Machina planning session, which means that they're all just sort of saying what they can do at the same time.
Reading our spells.
Yep. Scanlan wants Keyleth to turn it into a Triceratops. This will...
To turn herself into a Triceratops, not him. But yes.
I apologize.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, also Keyleth is like spool spinning, and then Orion very rudely tells her to shut up.
Yeah, it's really
which is
rude.
Just, she's very gracious about this, but it's just like, ugh.
Oh, we already did that one.
Did you... You're rolling questions for me now?
What do Kima's pajamas look like?
She was wearing pajamas?
She was.
You mean in episode 58 when they get her after the Rakshasa attack, right?
Yes. She's in Allura's room. Maybe that'll help you.
Does she wear one of Allura's roughly nightgowns there because she doesn't have her own?
Not exactly, but she is wearing just a really long shirt that may or may not belong to Allura.
Okay. Right, they live in this house together and nobody really knows.
Nobody knows what they get up to, and we never will.
I know that Allura makes her wear a dress to a party the same day.
Mm-hmm. And that's when she wears the ruffly dress that she doesn't like.
Right. I have an approximate knowledge of everything.
Yes. This is mainly what this trivia quiz is revealing. It's like, you might not know the specific answer, but you know very specific other things. You can tell me what episode this is from.
So... It's 58. It's the one with the Rakshasa.
It is.
I mean, the dinner is in 57, but 57 is one of my favorites, so, you know.
So, the reason why Orion went to the yelling place, which, I think is unjustified, because I think that there's no excuse to ever go to the yelling place, is that he...
No, especially not like that.
Is that he wants to disguise himself as the Duergarde's god, and then Keyleth to basically convey him into the...
To be his noble steed or something.
Yes. Which is where we get the lovely sentence, not from him, thank God. The only thing better than their god will be their god on a giant scorpion.
Yes, again, sage words of wisdom from Taliesin.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
And he says, this is a plan.
And he is correct. Percy is very correct about this. This is certainly a plan.
Of all the plans, this is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
For the first time ever, Kima and Kuroda are in agreement.
Yes, so this is fucking crazy.
They have a moment of camaraderie, like, oh, we're in here with these assholes. We came to the party with these dumbasses.
Yeah, like, I'm not stuck with you, we're both stuck with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scanlan wants to break off from the party and do something else, but they very quickly grab him and be like, no. You stay with the group.
No. You stay with the group. They do another, like, cool thing at this point when they go up and meet, like, I think 6 or so Durgar, the welcoming committee.
Oh, yes, like the pre-welcoming.
Like, this is a very cool combo attack.
Yay!
In which Tiberius catches them in a sphere of water.
Mm-hmm.
Keyleth uses Call Lightning on them, which deals additional damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then only one of them survives, and that's the one that Scanlan shames to death with his, like, little cheer. This, you ugly, your mama says you're ugly. And the entire party, everyone claps with him, which just led me to add the bit in the notes that says, if you are writing a high school AU, and Scanlan is not a very slutty male cheerleader, you're doing it wrong.
Oh no, you're right. And you know what's the worst part? He'd make the team so good because he's so easy to throw.
That too! Like and when do you see the male cheerleaders getting thrown?
Yeah, you never see the male. They're always the catching ones. Just chuck them into the air.
But nobody wants Scanlan to be the one who does the support stuff because he gets grabby.
Nope. No. He hasn't learned yet.
Anyways, so we move on with this really bad plan.
Yeah.
And we have to talk about yelling.
Yes, we have to talk about fucking yelling, because this is where the episode takes a downturn. Before we really describe why this sucks, let's set the scene and say that they enter this room, and there are basilisks, there's Durgar soldiers, there's a...
Basilisks, by the way, always suck on this show as an encounter because they always walk things down.
Yeah, it just decays very quickly into us, like, a bunch of people yelling about, am I looking, am I not looking, am I kind of looking?
I'm not looking at it. Well, yeah.
It's rough. It just there's a reason why they kind of stopped using them as a mechanic. They're just kind of a slog.
Not yet though, but yes.
Eventually they will.
They're a slog, but also, very tellingly and uncomfortably, especially if you know some of the footage of Orion and his things that are the reason we really don't want him back anywhere close to Critical Role. Apparently his idea of how to portray a god and divinity is a man who yells a lot in a Scottish accent.
Yeah, and like,
a bad Scottish accent.
I cannot stress enough how much this is not, like, character screaming. This is, like, blowing out the mic screaming.
Yeah, this is uncomfortable. Like,
it's really uncomfortable whenever he interrupts someone to scream.
And he interrupts every time Matt tries to make the NPCs talk. It's just... Yeah, it's not good. And which has led us last time to philosophize about that there's a clear division between the characters yelling and being angry and actual people yelling and being angry, that Orion just never got down.
Yeah,
for some reason.
When, like, there's a reason why, like, Taliesin yelling is just, like, very iconic. And just, like, never makes you feel uncomfortable.
No, it doesn't. There's exactly one moment in the entire campaign that sort of crosses the line, and that's when, in episode 83, Grog yells, "Fix him."
Yeah, and that's like it's an exception that's made for a reason.
Yeah, and it's, like, still for dramatic effect there. And you understand he's not actually upset at the people at the table, but... It cuts the line. Cuts the line very close. Yeah.
Anyway, I have a question for you.
Ah, of course you do.
This one is a multiple choice one, which is going to make it very easy. What is the name of the ship that Pike sailed on after her resurrection? A. The Broken Howl. B. Vusen. Or 3. C. Drensala Vis.
It's the Broken Howl.
It's the Broken Howl. But they're all
It was also... Oh, that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
One of them sounded like it was from Campaign 2.
No, they're all from Campaign 1. The Vusen, I think, is... I think it's the name of the airship that they take to get to to get to Glitter... to get to Glitshore. And Drensala Vis is, I think, the ship that they hide... Drensala Vis actually is the ship that shows up in Campaign 2, but it started in Campaign 1. It's the ship that they charter to get to the water shari.
Oh, that shows up in
Charter,
campaign
dear.
2?
Charter. I think so.
Cool. Okay, you put thought into this. But
did.
This one was actually especially easy because this is the episode where we watched the Pike intro again.
Yeah, the broken howl.
Mm. That part is already blurred, but yeah.
Anyway,
okay.
we have to keep going.
It's a fight scene. Like, of
Why do
course,
we waste so
Orion's
much
ruse
time?
doesn't work. He knows nothing about this god except for the one bit of lore he doesn't mention. Like, okay, if I were a god and freed you from slavery from these tentacled beings, and then you do common cause with these tentacled beings, I would be pissed too. I would be so pissed, but he doesn't invoke that. He just yells.
Yeah, if I was trying to convince them, convince these people that they've gone astray from my path, I wouldn't frame it by being extremely angry at them because, like, you're not convincing them to do anything by being very angry at them. You're just making them feel bad.
Maybe this is in character for the god, but you don't know that.
When you're trying to, like, convince someone to do something, the whole threats need to have, like, an end point. You need to be making a statement. Like, if you're gonna be pretending to be their god, you tell them, like, you've gone astray from my path and I'm going to give you this divine purpose to do X, Y, and Z, and that way you can regain my favor. You don't just scream at them nonstop, because that doesn't give them anything to do.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, he is there as a distraction so everyone else can do sneaky assassin stuff, so this was only a temporary measure anyways. But it's also not very convincing. Also, why does he assume that the Durgar god would be slumbering?
It's a good question. He doesn't need to be slumbering.
I mean,
he could be awake.
Yeah, or, like, it is apparently common knowledge in this world, not established yet, I think. I don't know how far Matt was with his world building and with communicating this world building to the players, that the gods don't slumber, they just locked behind a divine gate, which would also keep them from appearing there. But, I mean, this is what we know now, this might not have been established yet, it just strikes me as odd to assume a god would be slumbering.
It is.
Yeah. Fight scene ensues. It's very chaotic, it's a lot.
There's basilisks. I think Kima gets turned into stone, Tiberius gets turned into stone.
Tiberius first, his ruse doesn't last long, it's not very convincing. He has to blow fire in their faces because of course, which also falls flat because Durgar take half magic damaged.
Yes.
Half magic damage that way around. The Durgar queen is awesome, casts spells like chain lightning and disintegrate.
Oh yeah, she's kind of Matt's like soft entry into the badass bitches club.
She's the proto Delilah Briarwood.
Yeah, she's the girl
and
boss.
The proto Raishan. It's chef's kiss. Why has Matt stopped doing this?
I also really love like the kind of person that he does where like it's clear very quickly that the king and the queen do love each other.
Yes, but also the queen has more important shit to do.
Yeah, and she like she says like, I'm sorry, my love. This is when like the battle is starting to turn, which we'll just skip over this because you don't want to. It's stupid.
It's irrelevant. Nothing important happens during this battle except for the fact that Tiberius and Kima are petrified. And
Zach says his mom's name before stabbing the queen, but. And this will come up in the future. He does not say what his mom's name is.
Yep, nobody knows that. And also, well, no, that doesn't belong here. Anyway, that is just something that bothered me about the Legend of Vox Machina cartoon. Anyways, no, it doesn't matter. Once the tide turns, the queen takes over Grog and abducts him, makes the ceiling cave down and the lava pour in and does a dimension door and takes Grog with her, which she shouldn't be able to do. Because Dimension Door is restricted to size categories, which is why Scale can only take Pike with him. And technically, she could be able to do that if she enlarged first, the thing that Durgar do, that we were also introduced to this episode, but Matt doesn't say that.
He doesn't. Also, what instrument can Matthew Mercer famously not imitate?
Horns?
Horns! There we go. I'm just giving you the quick ones now.
There was a question? Oh.
That was a question. I'm just giving you, because I only have like 2 or 3 left, I'm just giving you like the easy ones.
Okay.
So the queen, after getting stabbed, decides that, oh yeah, you've already said this.
Yeah.
She can't.
Queen is out of here, the king isn't. Scanlan gets to kill him with his singing Dawn Blade, which just is basically like Myth Carver, but not as
it's
cool.
proto-Myth Carver.
Yeah. Ceiling's coming down, magma's floating in, Pike has the presence of mind to take some basilisk blood with her, and then they run, have to haul ass out of there, haul two statues with them. Clarota takes Kima, by the way.
There's magma flowing into this building.
Which they're trying to contain with airflow?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Airflow, and I think at some point Keyleth tries to summon a wall. There's a whole argument about how many spell slots she has.
Wind wall.
Wind wall, okay.
Oh, yeah, that too. Right. I think they end this by having her do... I think this is the next episode when she puts, like, up a stone wall and they flee.
She does talk about it in this episode,
Vex... Yeah. Vex gets caught in the lava and yet has his foot melted, but it's no big deal, don't worry about it, guys.
And they went a little long. That's about where they wrap up, actually. They just kind of stop, is the thing.
Yeah. They're just kind of, they're sort of out of there, but not quite, and then they stop, and Liam puts his foot on the table, which makes Laura go, ooh, get that away from me, which, yes, nice, thank you.
And that's the episode.
His foot in a shoe. No free feet pics. That's the episode.
Have you noticed that the last half is a little bit all over the fucking place?
I mean, it's partially because we're speedrunning it, but also because this is just combat we don't care about.
We really don't care about this. So...
we will care more about combat when it does anything, has narrative significance, or we can actually follow the rules. And no basilisks are there to negotiate with. Hit me.
Hang on. Yeah, we've already done all of these. Fuck it, I'm gonna just give you one myself.
Okay.
Okay. Which of the following members of the original Council of Tal'Doria was reported to be dead, but later shown to have survived? A. Tofor Boturis, B. Hana Wassaran,
Seeker Assume.
Or C. Bram Goldhand.
What?
Seeker Assume is not in this.
God damn it. Again, please.
Tofor Boturis,
Mm-hmm.
Hana Wassaran. I know, her name just sounds very Jewish to me. Or...
it's because it sounds German.
Or Bram Goldhand.
I think it's Topher because that the name means something to me. It's Bram, okay.
It's Bram Goldhand. These are all people who, in Gilmore's report, he talks about. And Topher Boturis, well, he said she was alive. He said that Bram Goldhand died. I think Hana Wassaran, I don't really think they mentioned her. But I do know this because later on, Matt kind of screws it up a little bit and like mentions Bram Goldhand again, and later retcons it to say that he's covered in scars and that he survived.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I've completely forgotten about that one.
Yep.
Do you have a last question for me?
Yeah, okay. I've got one more. I've got two more, but one of them's an easy one. It's just how many points of luck does Vax have?
Is that a trick question?
It's 3 originally and 4 afterwards.
Yeah, 3 originally, 4 after he read the campaign guide, and it's like, Matt, but you said the Fate Touch get 4, so do I get 4? And outside of that, it's just however many he remembers he has.
Yes. And the final question is, so we know the name of the Androsphinx, but what is his mate's name?
Oh! Shit! I honestly don't know either of the names right now. I think hers is easier than his.
I'll give you Kamal Giori.
Yeah, Kamal Giori is like a whole thing, but it's also like, wow, that's the thing. I think, God, she's under Vasselheim, and they, in our trial episode, actually featured her very prominently because she was just another person who was cursed to hide away in loneliness and not share and only share wisdom in the utmost dire of circumstances by fucking Ayun.
You can do this. You can come up with a name. I'm sure you can. Starts with an O.
With an O? Osira?
Close.
Osira?
No, you're...
Osisa!
Nice one.
I think Osira is actually the continent, but with an I.
I think so too. Shall we rate this episode?
Yeah, you need to go to work. We need to rate this episode. It's fine.
Do you have anything to say beforehand? Because we do have a little bit more time extra.
Do you have anything to say?
We got like 10 more minutes. So if there's anything you want to say, you can.
My mood is better than last time.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if it's just because of my trivia game. I feel like somehow the trivia game was not a component to this mood.
I mean, again, if you are just going through this the first time and have like half of the Underdark arc left and are just bogged down with this episode, it's a very different mood from, oh god, and when we're done with this, we're at episode 10 actually. We're almost done.
We don't have to rewatch any more episodes. We could just watch them.
Nope.
Well, I mean, they're all rewatches, but like...
It doesn't feel like we have to make up something, or we have to retread on ground, or we don't have to remember the amazing points we made last time.
Yes.
Everything after this is just a fresh new experience for you and for me, and all of us.
Okay, so let's rate this bad boy.
Alright, it's time for the Purvan Scale.
It's time for our beautiful, scientific, majestic, I have to go to work. I can't believe I have to go to work after this. What the fuck? Purvan Scale!
Whee! So...
Now, you don't know this yet, and you will understand this in...
20 episodes?
20 episodes. 20 episodes? No, not 20 episodes. 30 something.
Oh, right. The joke is going to make sense in, 27 episodes? 37 episodes. 37 episodes.
Yes. 37 episodes.
Yes.
You're going to understand it then, but Purvan stands for P, which is pizzazz.
There were cute hand-drawn maps, and I don't actually had a bow tie, so I think that's like half a point.
I'll give it half a point.
Nothing stood out.
I was going to give it a 0.
We forgot to mention something. Grok isn't there.
Travis
isn't there.
I also thought of something.
And, but at 2 points in time, like, Ashley and Laura both try to impersonate Grok, and they grab, like, a great axe they have standing behind them and just use that as a prop for Grok, and that's very cute and endearing.
I'll give that as a pizzazz. You know what else I want to give them for pizzazz?
Mm-hmm.
They had their nails dipped.
Right! They had the nails for the... Okay, so that's a point? 2 points? Point and a half?
I'll give it 2 points. 2 points for pizzazz.
2 points, okay. So the U is for uncomfortableness, and this is very quick. It's negative 4 points.
Negative 4? Not negative 5?
We've saved negative 5 for episode 27.
Are we even gonna do episode 27?
No, we're going to combine it with episode 26, but...
Yeah, okay, for posterity, we'll give it 4. I'm with that. Negative 4.
Negative 4.
I hate this episode.
Yes.
This episode sucks so much, it just feels like the life is being drained out of you.
Yes, so we are at a negative 2. Okay.
R is for role-playing realness. I kind of want to give this one a point. Just a point.
Yeah.
Maybe half a point.
For what?
I feel like actually they were kind of in character in parts. There were a little bit of shenanigans. I really liked the assassination.
Matt was very role-playing for Kima and the king and queen, so that's the point.
Yeah, I also liked Vax's assassination for once. I wasn't annoyed by it.
Is that a role-playing moment or more like
It might be an action moment.
But it was quick, and that's the opposite of action.
It's true. Okay, we'll give it a point for that, Matt.
Point and a half.
Point and a half.
Negative 0.5. Alright. The V is for vexiness.
Have we mentioned Vex at any point during this review?
Only for the I should have been so smart, but I wasn't.
Yeah.
Is this like a 0 doesn't apply?
I think this is a 0. I don't think there's not a lot of Vex in this episode.
Negative 0.5 it is.
Laura's kind of busy trying to roleplay Grog.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure, your turn.
The A in Purvan stands for action. This one's kind of a mixed bag, I think, because I don't hate some of the earlier actions. I think that some of the ambushes are kind of fun, actually.
I mean, the water sphere, electricity, your ugly maneuver is good.
Yeah, but I also think that the final combat is kind of the main defining point of the episode, and it's just a mess. Just the basilisks aren't fun. There's so much combat maneuvering. It's a lot of rule negotiations. It's not very fun.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna give it like a -1 or a -1.5.
I'm with you on the -1.
Okay, give it a -1.
-1.5 is the total score so far, and now we have the end.
Take us to the bridge.
Which is for 9 cents. Which I think we actually have to subtract points for this episode. This is
That's This was very 9-sensey.
Not very, but, like, I mean, it was 9-sensey in the, capacity they have for that right now.
They took a bunch of bodies to the shitter. They put bodies in a latrine.
Yes, and also Scanlan did shit the bed.
He literally shit the bed.
And, yeah. So that's -2?
-2.
-2. Which puts us at a -3.5.
Which isn't very good.
It feels appropriate for this episode. I think we gave it a worse score the first time around.
Alright, and we have a couple of minutes left before I have to go to work.
Okay, so, this is where we do the influencer stuff. Thank you so much for listening. Yes. Thank you, Lulavia, for the art. Thank you, Curran Sun, for the music. Thank you to the 2 patrons we have at this point in time. If you too would like to become a patron and have access to our special Vex and Supplementary Materials episode, or our upcoming long-form analysis of the Legend of Vox Machina once it's done airing episode, you can find us at link in the description.
Yes, you can. And we encourage you to do so.
We also encourage you... No, I'm not done here. We also encourage you to subscribe on YouTube or whatever podcasting platform you're listening to us to right now. Helps our ratings, helps our visibility. To follow us on Twitter and Tumblr, you can find both accounts for this podcast and for us individually. Also in the description. We're also just not a fic writer and Wohalika everywhere. And something I think we should encourage people to do is give us their own Purvan Scale ratings for the episodes. Yes, this is gimmicky and YouTubery, but like...
Help us calibrate the scientific scale.
Yes, do that. Like, just...
This isn't related to anything, but I dropped a knife on my foot last night.
What?
It's not bad, but I'm sorry. It's starting to hurt a little bit.
Your foot was vaccinated.
I'm now realizing this. My foot was vaccinated. Just like Vax's foot was vaccinated.
Is this our opinion for this episode? Vaccinate your feet?
Yes. Our opinion for this episode is vaccinate your feet. Especially if they're exposed to lava.
But you have to keep the entire banter in there. Otherwise it won't make sense.
Yes. Alrighty. Thank you for listening.
Okay. So thank you everyone for listening.
Sorry for the rush job.
We love you.
Sorry,
I mean... It's what this episode deserves.
This one's on me.
This one is on your dishwasher, let's be real.
Alright. Love you.
Alright. Are you saying goodbye to me or to the listeners?
Both.
Oh god, you want to hang up immediately? I can't deal with that, I have separation anxiety.
I mean, I can talk for a little bit after, but it's fine. Okay. Bye.
Bye, listeners, love you. Leave us comments wherever you can. We love that engagement. Feedback is always welcome. Just don't be a dick.
This is a song by Curran Sun.
With whom I've mentioned.
No, yeah, I know. I'm fading a sense.